Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Zach Young, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Karen Millwood Voche, a mental health professional and certified life coach with a law degree from the University of the West Indies and advanced counseling credentials from Nova Southeastern University. Karen specializes in supporting people navigating mental health challenges and life transitions, blending her legal background with counseling expertise to provide holistic coaching. Karen, a very warm welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you, Zachary. You make me sound exactly like who I am. Thank you.
That was the goal. I love it. I love it. Karen, it's going to be a great episode today. We have a lot to dive into. Before we do, I do like to start with your background, though. So before mental health, before life coaching, can you walk us through what were you doing previously and what was really your inspiration to get into this space?
Okay, born in Jamaica and went straight to law school in my early 20s. Interesting profession, very well respected. Didn't love it. I was very good at it. In fact, I am proud to say that there was a vote that they did every year, and I discovered I was voted most likely to be a Supreme Court justice. So I'm like, I guess I was Ruth Bader Ginsburg in the making.
Not bad, not bad.
Not bad, not bad. And so I did that, and I practiced law for 15 years, somewhere there. And I was good at it. I really was. And then life transitioned and I migrated. Once I got here, that time in life, which I like to walk people through, where you go, am I doing what I love? Because this is a time to transition. So I could keep doing what I'm doing, or life gives me a hard stop. Do I process what do I really love to do? And so I said, I want to be a mental health professional. And I got that question in grad school, which was fascinating. Who goes from law to mental health? And I promise you, Zachary, it was an organic response. I said I would rather help people to avoid bad decisions than to help them when they've already made them. And so that was the birthing of I want to walk alongside you to help you with your better decisions. Then I went into mental health. Interesting field, really loved it. And then it struck me that even with mental health counseling, you're already showing up with the diagnosis space. What is my diagnosis? What is my mental health challenge? And how do you diagnose me? And then how do you treat me? I was great at it. And then a life coach told me, you're life coaching. And I was defensive because I thought, how? But I always say this, I owe her an apology because she was right. She was trying to help me to understand that instead of the diagnosing and mental health, I wanted to coach people to their best life, which is different than how do I treat your anxiety? How do I treat your depression? How do I treat your substance use disorder? That's still a treatment of a thing that you're experiencing instead of what's going on, Zach? What do you want to do in your life? Like I would have been a perfect client. You're doing law. Do you love it? Is that what you want to do? Would you like to transition? Let's come up with a transition plan. Let's work on it. And that's what birthed my life coaching. So now I sit in that space. I still do therapy. I've had a lot of therapy sessions this week. It's the holidays, the couples are falling apart. Yikes. But
just having to spend time with your in-laws, it just sucks, right?
yes, and then the parties where the spouses don't get along, and then the children, that stuff. So I still do that. And I appreciate being able to show up for people. And then I found an interesting space that I never thought I would do. I'm at a senior center doing facilitating group for seniors with, get this, bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. It's fascinating. I was there yesterday. I did a talent show. I love what I do. I love how my life is evolving because it's just taking me into the directions of just showing up to navigate who people are. But my sweet spot, Zach, by far, coaching single women. That's my sweet spot. That's the one that I am most passionate about. Everything else I do because I can and I love showing up for people. But coaching single women has become my sweet spot because it's my story. Married
Mm,
20, divorced 20, single for 4, and just did the work of what is it like being a what I call smart, successful single woman? What's
mm,
going on with you? What's your story? And I tell people, I'm not trying to get you married. I'm trying to get you to understand yourself. If you do get married, I'll be there celebrating with you, but it's more of who am I? Why am I here? How did I get here? Why am I this great at what I do? I'm credentialed and I'm good at my work and I'm earning great money, but my private life is a little bit of a embarrassment. It just is not coming together. And if I put it together, it doesn't work out. It just doesn't go well. And I'm just back at what I call the walk of shame. And I call it the walk of shame because it's that how can you be that smart and keep ending up in these bad choice situations, right? That's where I am. That's my journey. That's why I'm
mm.
here.
You're doing a lot. You're working with a lot of people. Let's go ahead for now. We could talk about everything that might take 2 or 3
No,
hours. I'd
let's,
love
yes,
to.
but we can
We don't have
focus.
the time.
No, we can
Let's
focus.
let's focus on your passion, your bread and butter, the
Yes,
single women when it comes
single
to
women.
life coaching.
Yes.
Can you walk us through in that space? What does working with yourself look like? How do you structure your work with those women? Everything like
Okay.
that.
Okay, so what I've structured is a year-long program, and people say, "Ooh, year long," because I did a pilot program, and Zach, I didn't think it was a year, but I walked it all the way out, and it took those women a year to get to where we said we get it. It's a year. It's a every 90 days we do another part of the process. And so explore is back to who am I? 90 days, just who am I? It's interesting how hard that is for women who have just been like, I am an attorney. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you do. That's not who you are. And a lot of times, like me, they ended up doing law, doing, but it's not what they who they are, what they're passionate about. My goal is to get them to this space where I am passionate. Who are you? You know, that letter to your younger self. When I grow up, I want to be, I want to do, I see myself doing, this is what I enjoy. If you don't know that, what I found interesting is that women don't even introduce themselves to men. They don't because they don't know who to introduce themselves at. And they talk shop and they talk where they've visited and where they've traveled to and that stuff. It's not who at the core you are.
Mm,
So that first 90 days is just, and it's a group. It is a group. I was asked recently why group. Group is the sweet spot of life. Here's
I
why.
agree.
When you're by yourself, you think it's just me. You think I'm the only woman in this situation. I'm the only woman going through this. I'm the only woman who has ever experienced this. You put that in a group and it's immediately becomes there are other women like this. And so you discover that. Then there is this magical synergy of expression. I watch the women begin to talk to each other. And then I watch a sisterhood form where they just now have this connection with each other. And a lot of being single, I have lived it, is about feeling that you don't have a plus one in life. When you get into that sisterhood, you realize there are tons of women like you who you can do magical things with. I mean, I have had such a blast with the women. We've gone to painting things, we've had pajama parties, we've gone to restaurants and talked, we've gone to the beach at night, we're going on a cruise. It suddenly takes that I need a plus one into I have my sisters. So that's what happens when you do group. And
Mm,
I also find that it's most efficient for me because, of course, a group is 10 women instead of 10 hours, right? If I did 10 women, I could only do this 40 hours. I can only see so many before I hit burnout, which as a therapist is the kiss of death. You
mm.
suddenly don't show up well in burnout. So group is magical. And I've tested it with the year-long group. It's just wonderful. We went to Key West. It's just lovely. Then the second 90 days, it is express. Okay, now that you know who you are, how do you tell somebody that? Whoa. Women use words that they have no idea how ineffective it is in their expressiveness. And if you're talking to a man, it's almost, wow, you have no idea how to say that to him. The languaging is so off. And then you get that smart, successful woman. She is the one who runs the world, right? You put that in front of a more intimate, romantic space, and it becomes a little leaned forward, right? So it's trying to get her to just express it with authenticity, first of all, not an auditioning. That's the other thing. We will go through life thinking I want to say what I think I should. And I'll say this, Zach, I know why relationships are not working. Everybody's sending their representative. I'm like, make that stop.
Mm.
Like, authentically, who are you? I can't tell you how many women are watching football that they never wanted to watch. You don't like football. Don't tell him you do. I have a couple who is saying she said she would, and I said to her, I don't think you ever were that person. So it's that express it, but express it with authenticity. And then it's execute. Execute the next 90 days is okay, now that we know, plan. We have a plan. Let's get you to unveil that plan in your life. I know I want this. I've determined who I am. I've learned how to say what I want. Now let me execute my plan. And the last 90 days, it's what I call the exhale. And the exhale is you've done all this hard work. You did it. You did it. Here you are. Let's now do the fun stuff of just going through life, having more of a fun experience with each other because we've earned it, whatever that looks like, together or separately. But recently I tweaked that a little and I realized that I need an exhale at the end of each 90 days, whatever that looks like. We're just going to come up for air at the end of the 90 days. So I think I just this week tweaked it where I'm going to drop the 90-day exhale in between each of the 90. Make
Mm.
sense? So that at the end of
Absolutely.
the 90, we're going to have a 2 week exhale. And then at the end of the next 90, another 2 weeks, so that we are just breathing through. And then the grand finale would be, I don't know, like a cruise to Italy. For some reason, women like
Wow.
the idea of going to Italy. I don't know. I think everybody watched Eat, Pray, Love and have just
Yep.
decided that they're Julia Roberts and they're going
They
to.
sure did. You're spot
I
on.
don't know. Or maybe it's she finally met him in Indonesia, Bali. Who doesn't want to fall in love with Bali? Who wouldn't fall in love in Bali? If that's your
Mm.
goal, right? If
Hmm.
not, then it's just that simplicity of a life of just peacefully being in Bali, just journaling and enjoying your life. So that's what that looks
Mm.
like. So each group would be a group of 10. I imagine doing probably 4 groups at a time, just for, like I say, management of my life.
Yeah.
But after each cohort, there'll be another group starting. And we will do
Got
that
it.
and just do that, run that out for a year. And that's the first year. That's the first year of commitment that I want. And what I want to say to everybody is you didn't get here overnight. So please don't show up and say in 3 weeks, I don't think I'm getting anything from this. Don't do that.
Don't
You've
be
been
that
at this
person.
most of your adult life. I'm going to
Mm.
take a lot of peeling back of a lot of things in order to get you to where you need to be. So that's my passion. That's where I am with
Mm.
this.
I can tell it lights you up. It's very
It
easy to
does.
see. I am
It
curious, how do you balance that with still your mental health practice?
This is my passion. So the mental health practice, I am intentionally not creating too much of a clientele there.
Mm.
Intentionally not doing that. I don't mind telling you, I could easily be at 25 in that, but I'm somewhere at 9 or 10, consistently about 6. And because of my passion, I don't want to build that out much. And that is why I'm also deliberately letting the world know that I'm ready for the major launch
Yeah.
of this so that, and I was just talking to a friend about it. I know that professionally, I don't want to commit to helping people and then not be there for them. And the seniors, it's an hour. That's fun. I can't even lie. That's just fun. They're
Yeah,
just fun.
you can keep the
They're
fun.
almost, don't get me wrong, it's monetized, but it almost feels like I'm just giving joy to some seniors with mental health issues. I can't see myself not doing that because it's that little joyful piece.
Yeah. You find time for the things that are fun and really fill the soul.
I do. And did I mention
Absolutely.
that I teach line dancing? Woo!
A bit of everything.
So I have the things that are really, it's part of my life, but it's the more fun. And then that's my exhale, Zach, because
Mm.
you can imagine I'm pouring a lot into a lot of people and their life and their stuff. So when people say, how do I exhale? I would honestly say those seniors and the line dancing.
Love it. Look into the back end of the business for a second. How
Okay,
are these women currently finding you to work with you?
that's it. I just went live with my website. I did the first year without it because I just reached into the women I knew.
Mhm.
And then I realized that I needed to construct. There are different schools of do you need a website or not? So I decided, let's do it. So I finally have my website, which is beautiful. I'm getting great feedback. So I'm using that, sending that out, and getting really good responses about this is a great program. People will love it. So I'm waiting for the responses coming in. I've gotten a couple of inquiries so far, but I'm waiting for that to land. Interestingly, too, another thing that people say, there are those who say, don't let the time of year deter you. And right, because there was a little bit of, okay, it's getting to the end of the year. And I'm so happy that I show up to listen to those who know. And they said, no, time of year when people want to know that in the new year, what are they going to be doing differently? So my website is live and everybody's taking a look. That's great. I don't have a really strong social media cadence. I have to admit that posting and cadence is something that based on the Jamaican upbringing, and I was ahead of a lot of the social media stuff. And then I came here and I didn't climb in because I was too busy counseling. And there was just this trend of where everybody, and I think it was COVID, I don't know, did I miss it? Where everybody went viral and the influencers popped up, and all of a sudden it became you have to be on social, you have to grab people's attention on social media, and you have to have a cadence. I
Mhm.
would say that's not as strong for me.
Mhm.
And then another thing that I'm working on is that I have met my ideal avatar, this phenomenal woman who is in cyberspace. And so she has become what I call the influencer who is working on getting me in front of the smart, successful single woman.
Nice.
So I went that route. And it's because I did a training and it said, listen, if you're not the influencer person, don't make that disturb you. You just need the influencer person who is willing to tell the world that you're here and you helped her and you're good at it. And so I've decided that's the way I'm going to work towards getting in front of those women. And then I
Absolutely.
have a meeting in another week with, interestingly, it's the pastor of my church, because I was also encouraged to realize that don't look too far from home sometimes, because right where you are, I also have a church group. I know, Zach, I can't tell you that I do anything else, or you're going to say, really? But I have a church singles group. And so what they're saying is there are a lot more singles in church that need what I'm about to do. So I'm going to meet with her to also say, how can I do it there? So I'm looking for the answer to my marketing strategy is really that I'm trying to get in front of the people who will then get me in front of the groups
Yeah.
of women that I'm targeting.
Got it. Okay. It can be tough to be single in church. I've heard a lot about
Oh,
there's a lot of
how much
pressure.
time do you have?
Oh man. Not enough. I'll tell you, not enough
Right.
for that
It's why I
subject.
started the group because I
Mm,
joined this particular church and became a member single. And the languaging was very, oof, this is tough if you're single. And
mm,
because of my mental health space, I understand what that is. The psychology of listening to certain things can really be very debilitating, discouraging, and can also, what would I say? Unfortunately, make you head out to cure what you think is something that's not okay. I shouldn't be single. I can't be single. Why am I single? So it's why I started that group as that anti-message. But I found interestingly that the women in my group do yearn for marriage and companionship. They do. And so
mhm.
what I'm doing is what I call more of a prep. Okay, let's make sure you're okay and ready because you've already been down this road, most of you. Let's not make you have another failed experience. And for those of you who have never Let's figure out, is there anything you need to do? Because a lot of time the messaging is people want to now say it's not you. And I'm like, sometimes it is.
Karen will say the truth. God tells us to
Right?
tell the truth. Tell the truth.
The two things can be true. Sometimes it is you. And I
Mm.
had a man at church who said to me, "Are you prepping these women?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir. I'm prepping these women because he's don't just bring them out here like they're ready and they can't find that." I would say if I'm asked the most challenging thing about really hitting the ground running is finding a world in which everybody has decided you have to put yourself on social media and start doing cartwheels
Mm.
in order to get through the attention span of people and get that video that gets 1,000 hits so that then you get 10,000 hits and
Yeah.
because that's not organically who I am, and in a season of authenticity, I will not pretend that I'm going to be on social media trying to do a circus act. You know what I mean? Or
I get it, but you're great on camera.
oh,
You
thank
do
you.
great on social media. I don't think you got to put on the act, but you just post your raw, authentic videos. I think you'll do well.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. So then you're okay. So since you're the second person who said that,
Good. And keep talking to people, and there will be 7, 8, 9, 26,
oh
30.
my
Okay.
gosh.
All right.
Okay, okay,
I love
okay.
it. Just keep it in the back of your mind. Keep it in the back of your
Okay,
mind.
okay,
It's
okay.
obviously if it's not authentically you, like we've talked about, don't do it.
Got it.
Absolutely. Karen, I feel like we've touched on the future a little bit already, right? I'd say the goal for 2026 is really get that group coaching going, bring
Yes,
in, sounds like as many women as possible to really
yes,
impact the most people possible.
absolutely.
I absolutely love that. So you talked about
Absolutely.
the website. What is the website address where we can find you at?
It's interesting. My maiden name, my daddy's name, Millwood, and I am the Millwood Method. So it's the
Millwood.
millwoodmethod.com.
Perfect.
People say, why? Listen, I had the most amazing parents. Daddy was just brilliant. Daddy spoke like Latin and Greek and all kinds of stuff, and he was the pastor of the church. And so from him, I got this high level of ability to just cut through the noise to what mattered. That was daddy. So I got
Mm.
that from him. But mama was the therapist. So from mama, I got the empathetic, caring, I see you, I get you. So when I tell you the Millwood method is the blend of my parents, it is I see you, but we're going to do this. We're not just going to talk about how you feel. We're going to get you there. So it's
Mm.
the millwoodmethod.com.
I love it. Karen, such a pleasure having you on today. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course, Zach. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely. And that will wrap up another inspiring episode of the Founders Feature. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go and connect with Karen on her website. That link will be in the show notes and description down below. And if she ever makes social media accounts, we will include those as well. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're looking to scale your business, and you really want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with our team and discover how we went from 0 to 30 million per year in less than 3 years. Until then, keep on climbing.